In today's video I have a camera system by Lorex, and what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to unbox it, show you what's in the box, show you how I set up the system, and then show you how to use the system, and then show you any cool features that the system has. So if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I build things, I install security cameras, I weld things, pretty much anything handyman, so feel free to check out my channel. And without further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to go ahead and unbox this and show you what's inside. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I have laid out in front of me. And just to clarify, this is the Lorex. It's the D861B Series. So it's not just any one other camera system, it's the D861B Series. I don't know these by name, I'm trying out different camera systems, so this is what I have. The box comes with 8 cameras. It comes with 8 B&C cables. It comes with 2 power supply boxes, 2 power splitter cables, 1 power supply box for the DVR, a mouse, a small Ethernet cable, HDMI cable, and obviously the DVR. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out a monitor, put it right here, and then plug everything in and make sure all the cameras work before I go around drilling holes on the house and trying to install the cameras, because you just want to make sure everything works, because you don't want to go through all the effort of doing all this, drilling the holes, running the wires, and putting up the cameras for them not to work. So what I'm doing now is I'm bringing out the monitor, plugging everything in, and checking it all out, making sure it all works seamlessly, and then I'll move on to the actual installation. So I brought out the smallest monitor I had, and now I'm going to plug in the DVR and all the cameras and show you what it looks like on a monitor. Okay, so I had to bring out the plastic fold-up table because I didn't quite have enough room on the table I had down there at the coffee table, and plus I didn't want to be bent over, I wanted to be sitting down. But I connected all the cameras to the DVR via the B&C cable, and I got it all connected with the HDMI cable to the monitor, my small monitor here, and I also have the surge protector powering the whole thing. This is just a little temporary thing, but basically what happens is once you turn on the monitor and the DVR, you get pulled up, you get a screen pulled up, and the screen looks like this. It's a startup wizard. It gives you a local startup and a network startup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start it locally, because I want to be able to make sure that all the cameras work properly and that the cables work before I go up and install everything. So I'm going to go to local setup. It's going to prompt you with this. You have to make a password. Your username is always going to be admin. So I'm going to make a password real quick, and I can't let you see that, so I'm going to turn the camera off for a second. Alright, so I'm back. I had to go get a haircut, and I also ate. But once you get all your cameras connected to the DVR, you should be able to see them all on the screen here. This is the screen that you're going to be seeing. See, for example, if I pick this one up, it'll see me. If I pick this one up, it'll see me. If I pick up this one, you'll see it over here, so and so. So there's 8 of them. You should be able to see 8 screens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we move on to the next page. Yeah, so basically after this, all we have to do is go install the cameras and then come back and basically finish setting up our account. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go install one camera and show you the process on one. And from watching me install that one, you should be able to install the rest on your own. But yeah, I'm going to go do that, then I'm going to show you like a final review of how to use it and stuff. And then I'll be back. So, see ya. So before I go up, I'm gonna go ahead and put up 2 cameras on this area. Here they are. I'm just gonna use the black screws instead of the screws that came with it. I'm gonna go ahead and take about 6 screws in case I lose any. Put that in my back pocket, and we go. So the installation process starts out with deciding where you want your cameras. And once you've already tested to make sure that the cameras work and the camera wires work with your monitor, you want to go ahead and set up all your cameras. You put your cameras in the direction that you want them to be facing, and then after you have all your cameras up, you run your wires to those cameras. And that's what I'm doing in this video here. gonna run it, attaching it to up there, making my way into that area there. I'm using a 3/4 inch paddle drill bit to drill a hole into the wall. Then I run my camera cables through that hole. Once I've ran those through that hole, I make my way up into the attic, and I have a trash picker upper with me. And the reason I have that with me is so that I can grab the cable easier in case there's any sort of obstacles or obstructions in the way and I can't reach with my arm. I can reach with that trash picker upper. You gotta be careful with the stuff in the attic because you know you have your AC system in there in some houses, and in other houses you have bad electrical wiring. You can get shocked, so be careful. This house is pretty clean. It's actually my parents' house. This is a system I did for them. But anyways, yeah, as you saw, I used my trash picker upper to grab the cable, and then I run the cable over the HVAC system, and I make my way over to the other side. I'm using these little wire clamps to clamp the cable over the HVAC system so that it's not in the way if there's ever AC problems. That way any AC technician doesn't have to like run into the cables while they're working, or any electrician doesn't have to run into the cables when they're working. You basically want to clean up the cables. I've seen some camera systems that have been installed and they leave them like on the floor of the attic, and that's sort of like a, I wouldn't say a hazard, but it is a hazard because if you step on it or tear the cable, then that means you have to run another cable, and that's easily like $100 job. So you don't want to have to pay somebody twice to install the cables. If you have a security camera system installed at your house, make sure they do a clean job so that other people don't run it over, so that you don't have to do the job twice. Or if you yourself install the cables, make sure that you do a clean job in case you ever have to hire somebody to go do something in your attic. They don't tear up your cables. But anyways, the way these clamps work is you put the cable through that clamp, and then you use a screw to secure the clamp into place, like I'm doing here. And that's it. That leaves a clean job, and it makes the cables and it moves the cables out of the way in case you ever get somebody working on in your attic. So now I'm moving my camera around, showing you the other clamps that I put on. On this one I worked my way backwards because I had a lot of cable to mess with, and I wanted to make sure I had enough to reach into the area that the cables are all going to run to. Once again, you use your clamp and a screw, and a drill to secure the cable up to the studs so that they're out of the way in case you get like an electrician, like I already said. So basically what we're doing here is just cleaning it up, little time-lapse action. And this is the outside. Went ahead and cleaned up all that mess. And then I ran my cables through the hole I drilled from the ceiling into the area that the DVR is in. And in this house, the DVR is actually in a closet. And once you put your cables through, you want to go ahead and come back down, grab that's the camera side, and then the red one is going to be the power side. Then after that, the DVR usually has a QR code that you scan and download an app. So once you scan your QR code, it's going to take you to the App Store, and you're going to download the Lorex app. And on the Lorex app, it's going to prompt you with a login. And if you went ahead and made your account locally, like I showed you at the beginning of the video, then you will already have an account. If not, you're going to go ahead and make an account, and then it's going to tell you what to do from there. It's going to show you how to connect your camera. It's really easy. Like, it's a step-by-step thing on the app, and it's all from that QR code. So once you're in, you'll see a screen like this. Shows you your, I'm not flipping you off. Okay. But shows you your cameras and their views. Then you can just click from there. But it also has like a settings feature where you can manage your notifications, because whenever you first download it and set it up, you're going to get notifications every time there's movement
And you don't necessarily want that, especially if your cameras are pointing like at the road where there's like more traffic, because every time a car passes by, you're going to get a notification. And if you leave that on, you're going to have over 100 notifications a day. Trust me, you don't want to leave notifications on. In my opinion, leave the notifications on for areas where only you are supposed to be walking through, where nobody else is supposed to be walking through. So occasionally you might have a cat walk through there or a dog, and you'll trigger a notification that way. But if not, then that's how you'll know whether somebody is trespassing or not. But you do want to have cameras pointing at the high traffic areas in case, let's say that somebody steals your car or somebody breaks into your house. You can at least see the vehicle they were driving or anything like that. But you go to events to view things that have been happening in that area. So on the events tab, it'll show you any movement that you might have missed. And to view what's been going on all day, you click on the main camera from the home screen. You go to timeline, and then you just back it up. Any surveillance camera will save the information from the last 12 days, I believe. Well, it depends on how much space is on your DVR, but what it does is it automatically, unless you're paying for cloud storage, then it's only going to save what's on that DVR. And in this case, the DVR for the Lorex system is 2 terabytes. So that's 2,000 gigabytes. So it's only going to save for the last 12 days. Oh, no, on the Lorex. So on the Lorex, it only saves information from the last 6 days. So if it's only saving the information from the last 6 days, then if you have something happen like a day before and you just noticed it, so you have a 6-day window of time to go back and check out what it was that happened. So let's say somebody throws a brick at your window. If that happens, you have 6 days to go back and look at the footage. And if you take too long to go look at the footage, then you might miss it. So it gives you a 6-day time period. But I do believe that Lorex offers you a cloud service, which lets you save video for up to a year, I believe. But it costs a lot. You have to pay for storage. And a lot of people don't want to do that. This is just a basic thing. Usually the people that pay for storage are places like Dollar General or like Home Depot or Lowe's. Like commercial buildings usually pay that extra fee for storage so that they can bring up things from up to 7 years or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about it, go ahead and ask in the comment section down below. If you want like an in-depth review on how to use the app, then I'll make that. Just make sure you comment it down below. And oh, one more thing. I was going to say that these cameras actually let you flash a light, and they actually have a little alarm system in place too. So if you're out of town and you see somebody in your yard that isn't supposed to be there, then you can go ahead and turn on one of those lights and then flash an alarm. And they also make some other cameras, not these, that actually have an intercom. So if you have to say something to somebody, then you can use the intercom. These unfortunately don't have it, but yeah, other than that, that's been my video. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.